Am I the asshole for not wanting my disabled cousin at my wedding? I, a 26 years old woman, am getting married soon to my amazing fiancé, Liam, a 30 years old man, and I am struggling with whether or not to invite my cousin, Tom, a 29 years old man. Tom has a developmental disability, and while he's almost 30, he has the intellectual capacity of about a 7 years old child. I have always tried to be patient and understanding, but he has consistently crossed physical boundaries with me in ways that make me really uncomfortable. I have always been an early bloomer, and I have a much larger than average chest. Because of all the sports I did in high school and continue to this day, I would like to say I look good. I only say this because it is the main reason my family uses to justify Tom's behavior. Over the years, Tom has touched my chest and butt quite a few times. He has also hugged me tightly and tried to kiss me. Even though I immediately told him to stop each time, it never seems to stick. He also tells all of his caretakers, nurses, and live-in caregivers that I am his girlfriend. He also does not like Liam because he insists Liam is not my fiancé or boyfriend because he, Tom, is my boyfriend. Tom also talks about how he will marry me. It kind of feels like when a little kid tells their parent they're going to marry them, but it is still very uncomfortable. I have brought it up with my family, but they always downplay it, saying Tom does not understand and that he is just showing affection. The excuse used most often is, he's a little boy in a man's body and you are a conventionally attractive woman. When I told my mom how uncomfortable it makes me, she said I probably encouraged his behavior too much and that he is harmless. She insists I should just be firm, but any time I have tried, the family accuses me of being mean to him. With my wedding coming up, I want the day to be relaxed and special, without constantly worrying about Tom overstepping boundaries. When I told my family that I was considering not inviting him, they were outraged. They said I was being unfair, cruel, and that he would be devastated not to come. My mom even said it would ruin his day and make it obvious that he is different, which she thinks is heartless. I get that Tom cannot help certain behaviors, but I feel like my family has completely ignored my feelings in this. They always brush off my discomfort and say it is my responsibility to manage it or that he does not know any better. But it is my wedding, and I do not want to be on edge the whole time. Liam says I have every right not to invite him, especially because of how he treats both of us like our relationship is not real. Still, I wonder if I'm being too harsh or unkind, since Tom is not fully aware of boundaries and does not really know what he is doing is bad or harmful, especially because his parents and other family members encourage it. Am I the asshole? Top comments. Comment 1. Not the asshole. If he is a little boy in a man's body, there should be no problem finding someone to look after him. The fact that they say you probably encourage him and that this would ruin his day is a hill I would die on. It is not his day, and they have been enabling this behavior for too long. If he cannot control himself because of his disability, he should have a caretaker who looks after him. Answer. He does have caretakers, and my family does not like my fiancé because he has stepped in between me and my cousin and yelled at him until he cried. Comment 2. I have a brother who is very similar, in fact almost identical, just a few years older than you describe. I don't blame him, but lack of oversight, control, and pity have enabled him to traumatize me and even more so my sister in various ways. You are not here to cater and bend to the wishes of a man who may be delayed in maturity, but if he has not been able to control himself in the past, don't mess up what is your day to cater to him, not the asshole. Oh yes, his day might be terrible anyway if he attends, because his favorite person is marrying another man. He might cause drama now or later. Pro tip, never leave him unsupervised with the wedding album. The fact that his existence is filled with tragedy does not make his feelings worth more than yours. That is super important. Your parents have a duty to protect you from harm as well, and from what I have seen in other comments, they have failed to do so with regard to him. They have no ground to stand on to demand anything concerning your wedding, in my opinion. Comment 3. It is interesting that your mom thinks you encouraged his behavior. It sounds like the family is justifying allowing his inappropriate actions by suggesting that you actually like it or appreciate it. Refusing to have him at your wedding would go a long way to making it clear that you do not like it or appreciate it, and will publicly remove that excuse for their lack of action. Any chance you're having a child-free wedding? Because their excuse that he is basically just a child would mesh nicely with that. Answer: yes, it is child-free. Comment 4. So everyone thinks that a full-grown, sexually fixated man with a 7-year-old mind who insists he is going to marry you is just going to watch his girlfriend marry another man without incident? You are protecting yourself and your husband. They are insane. This has disaster and possible violence written all over it. It's like they don't understand people at all. He is not invited, and anyone who thinks he should be is welcome to not attend as well. Their willful blindness to this disaster this could be is pure denial. They have done this young man no favors in this life. Good luck. Write what you think about this situation. Who did the right thing, and who is the asshole? Let's discuss it in the comments. In the meantime, let's move on to the next story. Am I the asshole for kicking out our youngest child at 19 years old so we can sell the house and downsize for our early retirement? My wife, 45 years old female, and I, 45 years old male, have 3 children, a 25 years old female, a 22 years old male, and a 19 years old male. We have always had a plan to work hard while we are young and retire early. Fortunately, we have been lucky, and with our savings, we are in a position to do just that. Our 2 older children have already moved out, and only our youngest is still living with us. We live in a rural area in a 4-bedroom house. For a family of just us and our son, it is way too big and empty. We are planning to downsize, sell the house, and move into a small place in the city. We hope to travel a lot, so we do not need a huge apartment or anything. We have decided to sell the house in a few months. Our son is not thrilled, especially since he could not convince us to take him with us. He says it is unfair. His brother and sister got to live in the house until they finished college, but he has to move out now. We offered to cover the deposits for whatever housing he wants, first, last, plus security, but he thinks a couple of months' notice is not enough time for him to move and find a job. I reminded him how lucky he has been to have a great childhood surrounded by luxury. Even paying for his new place is a gesture of goodwill. He accused us of prioritizing our retirement over his well-being. He added that we are lucky to even be able to retire. He did not stop there and dragged his siblings into the conflict. To my surprise, they sided with him. They think it is only fair that we either wait a couple more years or take him along. When we didn't budge, our daughter said he could come live with her, even though she lives in a 1-bedroom house with her partner and their daughter. I think their expectations that we would put our lives on hold for years just for our son are insane. Our children have not been talking to us lately. It seems like they have all banded together against us. Our oldest son even told us that when he gets his own place, he is currently renting with roommates, we will not be able to stay over as guests. Top comments. Comment 1. Listen, if you are looking for validation, there will certainly be people on this subreddit who tell you that you are in the right, that a 19 years old is an adult, and that you have no obligation to him once he is past the age of 18. I am here to tell you that they are absolutely wrong, and you are most certainly raging assholes. Nothing in your post indicates any kind of urgency. A 19 years old may be legally an adult, and you may be legally in the clear with respect to any obligation to house him, but a 19 years old is still very young. He also had a reasonable expectation that you would house him as you did his siblings and give him the same opportunity to get himself settled and established as an adult that your older children had. Instead, you were throwing him to the wolves of inflation, an unforgiving housing market, and a difficult employment market for young people, and you're expecting him to be grateful for that? I am heartened to see your older children, at least, are standing by their younger brother. Somehow you have raised them with values better than your own. Of that, at least, you should be proud. You are the asshole. Comment 2. You are the asshole. He is 19 years old, but your child is always your child, and he is saying he cannot afford to live on his own. You say you are financially capable of downsizing and retiring, but will not wait for your son to move out. It's tough economic times for everyone, but you are okay with kicking your child out and possibly letting him go homeless? Like, you can't even wait another year or two, possibly? Comment 3. You are the asshole. Generational wealth is one of the biggest contributing factors, especially in today's age, for the success of children. Unless you have an alternative for him, you are putting him at a huge disadvantage. By doing this, you are not just hurting him emotionally, you are messing up at least the next decade of his finances. Just because your children are 18 does not mean you're done being a parent. You chose to have children and all the responsibility that comes along with that. You're free to retire early, but is your early retirement worth messing up your child's entire financial future? Reddit verdict, definitely the asshole. I can't remember the last time I saw a post that got people so worked up, and that says a lot. What do you think about this situation? Who do you think is a jerk, and who did the right thing? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to the Sneaky Pigeon channel to get more cool and interesting stories. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.